Today's show is brought to you by Win the Race, the NASCAR strategy platform built for fans who want more than picks. From 100,000 race simulations and pro-level DFS tools to advanced driver and track analytics, Win the Race helps you think like a race strategist, not a spectator. Learn more at wintherace.info.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 51 of The Draft, the Go Bowling at the Glen at Watkins Glen episode of The Draft here this year. It's been a fun year. We're coming off a Texas race where we saw Chase Elliott win another one. I think Chase Elliott now, like a couple years ago too, like you had that restart with Denny side by side, and he just best Denny then too. He's kind of like sunning Denny a little bit at Texas recently, but we can get into that as we talk about the race here. I enjoyed it for a Texas race. It kind of is what it is. It just, that's Texas. There you go. We move on to a road course this week. It's going to be very, very different. Weather will be different. It's a road course. That's going to be much different. And then we have some new players in the game when we get to a track like this. So when we go through the draft tonight, I'm sure we'll be talking about a lot of drivers that we don't normally talk about. And then some that, are a staple on the show. So it should be a lot of fun. Guys, I'll kick it to you. I'm joined, as always, Phil Eastman, Tino Patino, and then we got our special guest, Kyle Robert from Angle of Pursuit. And Brian, your partner in crime, came on here, filled in for Phil, a true fill-in, whooped our butts. I'll pull up that score real quick. Just, a great draft there. And I had thought the winner, Chase Elliott, was a true Phil type of pick, picking the safety and the finish. Phil, I'm just going to kick it to you. How'd you like what Brian did last week for you?
Oh, I mean, could not ask for anything better. And honestly, easy to say this in retrospect, 2020, but like I was obviously tuning in a little bit during what I saw right away. I was in love with. It's exactly, in line with what I was planning on doing. And so I loved every pick. I'm glad he was able to jump on for me. I really do appreciate that. Allowed me to go have a night, and really worked out. So what a great job. He didn't, he came strolling in. He didn't let you guys bully him around. He came and took care of business. So really cool to see, and I appreciate it, Brian.
You're muted, Ryan.
You're muted.
He did an awesome job. And what was cool was we get off the show. I head upstairs, turn on the Flyers game, get to OT, and watch them bang one home for the win. So good for you. Glad you got to see that live. It was pretty awesome. Tino, jump to you. What'd you think of the race? How'd you enjoy it?
For Texas, thought it was a fun race. Definitely still chaotic. That's the one thing that we can now continuously bank on. Honestly, I was going into it aware of the chaos. We talked about it at length during the show, which I thought was great. But I just had a feeling maybe this was a year that it simmers down just a little bit since everyone was talking about it. And no, ultimately not. We see drivers fast like Christopher Bell get taken out while being the leader. We see pit road issues. I had two plays, Kyle Larson and Chase Briscoe, both knock each other out on pit road. So ultimately not a winning week for me. But that's okay, and it's okay. And I feel okay because of the fact that I work so hard, get really mad sometimes when we don't win. But that's the thing is, like, we do it together. We all work hard. It'd be one thing if I didn't listen to Ryan, Phil, Kyle, or Brian on the show, but ultimately it wasn't really like that, in my opinion. I guess I could have listened to Brian and drafted Chase Elliott, but I just felt like there was no real strong car aside from Chase, Denny. A couple contenders got taken out. Could it have looked differently? So those are the type of losses that I feel like, okay, although I feel bad for the people that rode out there, we'll get it back this week. It's one of those losses that, like, is Texas. Like, it's just chaotic, and I'm okay with how that race went down for me.
Yeah, we expected the chaos, but not all the pit road chaos. Like, that knocked Logano out too. Like, it just, people getting taken out in the pits. crazy. I went in full Toyota. I was like, Toyota's going to win this. I was going to be Toyota versus somebody. Ended up just Toyota. And then meanwhile, I'm like texting Greg before. He's like, yeah, I've had Chase Elliott 14-1 all week. I'm like, damn, I normally like use that. And like, that'll be my one guy I go against if Greg's on something and sees something. I don't know, but didn't do it, but good for him. Kyle, how did you make out over the weekend? How'd you enjoy Texas?
Love Texas. The optimism that the community doesn't seem to have for Texas, Brian and I definitely make up for. Obviously, we both had Chase Elliott, so that certainly helps. But yeah, I have a good time at Texas. I know the carnage is real. I wish there was a few less self spins in turn 3 and 4. And obviously, pit road got like turned into mini Talladega. But we always have a blast there, and it was a good time. I have a question for you guys before we jump in. Like, who had a better week? Carson Hocevar going Talladega win, truck win, pole, or our guy Phil, who gets Brian to chime in for him, gets the win, and then he's there. Dude, they're throwing beers. They're winning a playoff series against an in-state rival. Man, it's been a week for you.
I do feel bad because I know you are a Penguins fan, so I
it was a real tough scene, but I got Sidney Crosby in a few cups, so
there you go.
I can't be too upset, especially seeing the scene there. There was a legitimate like excitement and just bonkers nature once that last goal went in.
Yeah, getting a lot of chirps saying the Flyers fans acting like they won the cup, and I was like, yeah, kind of. Like, we know we're not going to win the next series, so like that was it,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to give the nod to Hocevar. Honestly, I didn't attend the Met Gala, so what a strange human being walking around that place.
Yeah, but, get Sabrina Carpenter on his arm, and NASCAR
exactly.
will never be so back.
That's right.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you were there for it. That's really cool. I've never been to one of my favorite teams' big games like that. Never been to a playoff game or anything. I mean, really, the only team that I think I'd like that would be like the 49ers or something. Just haven't been there. I went out to Cleveland one year when Cleveland sucked and the Niners were awesome, and Cleveland beat them on Monday Night Football. So that's about it. I don't really see anything cool.
I was in Seattle for the Crabtree game when Richard Sherman. It was mega tough scenes for sure.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I'm glad that some people, Brian, Kyle, Greg, we had Elliott winners. Brian comes on, wins the draft for Phil. Elliott did some good stuff. The only thing I was upset with last week is I bet, like I did on O'Reilly and trucks. I just can't get those things right. Like, get to the Cup Series. I was okay leaving the Cup Series about even, at Texas. That's kind of what I expected almost. But I don't know. We'll try to get those back this week. We got another triple header. I'm going to be listening to your show, Phil. When are you dropping trucks?
Probably tomorrow night. I'm going to tell you this. Like, I feel a similar way, man. I put work into the trucks. The unit return is just not there this year. I don't know what it is. I'm having a blast watching them, putting the bets in, but the results are not there. So I'm almost tempted to be like, yeah, maybe you don't watch my shit because it hasn't been working out all that well, but I'm having fun doing it.
Yeah, what sucked is, I was on Kyle Busch as well, and then he gets there at the end finally after everything he battled through, and then it's just like, well, he ends up just pushing Hocevar to a win, just like Hocevar did for him at Atlanta. So I was like, God damn it. I just didn't think that would happen, but maybe we just have to admit he doesn't have that dog in him anymore unless he's rage quitting. Then he does have the dog in him, but we'll see. It's a different type of dog. All right, let's get into this week. So Brian did win too. He's picking the Chase Elliott Foundation. Fitting. That's what we'll do. Benefits Children's Healthcare in Atlanta. So that's where Win the Race will donate for his win last week. We will jump into this week's draft one driver from 8 different teams that you see in the top there, plus 1 bonus driver. And before we do that, we kick it to Phil and we do a quick track preview because Watkins Glen is going to be very different than what we've seen for the past, 2 months. So, Phil, what do we got here with Watkins Glen?
Yeah, so second road course of the year. First one we had Coda. It was week 3, so, a little while since then. A couple things to note. They moved this race away from like the late August timeframe. So, I don't know how that's going to impact track conditions or whatever. But something to think about as you're watching this weekend. 7-turn, 2.45 mile road course. They do not use the boot section of the track like other series. Practice qualifying 1 to 3 on Saturday. Race is 3 p.m. on Sunday. Stage breaks, we've got stage 1 is 20 laps, stage 2 30 laps, 50 in stage 3 for a total of 100 laps, 245 miles all around. The one side note that I have is the weather looks awful. Now, with the road course, rain tires, I guess, are a possibility. But you got to consider that. I'm sure we'll talk about it a bunch this show. You got some guys who are good on road courses that if practice were to be washed out, they're going to be starting further back in the pack. So that would suck. Really hoping that they can get practice and qualifying in. Another reason is for Tino, I'll probably toss it to you in a second here, Tino, to kind of go through some of the changes to the track. They've made some like physical changes to the actual racetrack from the last time they were there. So I think these guys want to get out and see that. And a couple real quick stats here. Pole, the winner started there 9 times, but the last time it's happened was Chase Elliott, 2019. They only come here once a year, so it feels like a million years ago. Starting inside the top 5 is absolutely crucial. 67% of the time the winner started there, but 8 of the last 9 winners have started, I'll bump it up 1, inside the top 6. 13 of the last 15 started inside the top 6. So that first three rows are absolutely huge. If we do get practice and qualifying in. Chevy's been dominant. 6 of the last 7 races were won by Chevy. And the only time we had a winner starting outside the top 20 was Chris Buescher in 2024 when he started 24th. So if we do get practice and qualifying, it is super important this weekend. So that's what I got for you.
Yeah, I actually have a photo here that I'll try to just save and upload real fast to show you. It goes with your trends here, starting up front. And Tino, you were kind of buzzing through like these track differences as well. I don't know much about this, but there is, maybe we can post, like when we post this video, the video that you sent us in our text feed earlier talking about these changes to the track. I think that would definitely help people kind of better understand what it could mean. To me, it didn't seem like they would even know unless they got practice in qualifying. So I really hope rain doesn't, rain on that parade, pun intended. But I'm like 2 hours away from the track, or a little bit more maybe, but like the weather does suck here. It's cold, it's rainy. There's like a chance of rain every single day this week and weekend. So I'm kind of feeling their pain. But so here we go. Like I put this new like DFS and betting track edge on Win the Race. And so this is all the, Watkins Glen races, the Gen 7 races. So we only have 4 of them here, but you can see, put like betting angles on here, and it just shows like what starting zone and how often they're converting into those finishes. So yeah, I mean, you're going to want to start up front. 38% of them are earning the top 5 finishes. And you can just see like the average finish drops as it goes. It's not like you got a lot of guys coming from the back here. You want to show up fast, have the track position, and deal with the race from that angle. So Phil, great track preview as always. Now we will jump into the draft. I'll pull up the board. We'll go to 2311. And Tina, I'm going to let you lead this one off. 2311, Watkins Glen. Think I have a good idea who your pick's going to be, but I want to hear a little bit more about why.
Yes, sir. Well, I am wearing my Watkins Glen shirt. And now I'm going to go on a little rant because this race should not be on Mother's Day. It should not be in May. It's too early. This breaks the streak of Tino being there live at the track. I was there for the last 5 Watkins Glen races. Ever since they let me through the building to be on the track, to be on pit road, to be going crazy, as most people know, that's where it started. It's Watkins Glen. So pretty unfortunate. They have to move this race back to where it belongs in the summer. It's going to be maybe interesting to see a little wet weather tire qualifying. Chase Briscoe mentioned that if they let them do that. But ultimately, I don't know. I mean, there's just no better area in the summertime, upstate New York. The leaves are nice, color changing a little bit. The sun's hitting you. You can go to the falls. Like, I'm just so not a fan of this race being where it is. I had to get that out, and NASCAR's got to put it back. This is going to be a one-off. It has to be a one-off. It has to. It was in the playoffs. I wanted them to take it out of the playoffs because it didn't belong there either, unfortunately, with the style of racing that Stage Points and everything did. So hopefully it can be moved back to where it rightfully belongs. And I will touch on this because I wanted to say a little bit more about it, at least specifically turn one, right? So Chris Buescher put out a video, or maybe it was Steven Tarantino there that had a video with Chris Buescher in it talking about this specifically. This is going to be a big deal. The drivers were simply not abiding by the curbing, as we know. Everyone would go run off of that and try to get as much speed as they could going off it, and it would bring for some awesome racing, right? 3, 4, 5 wide. Well, you can't do that anymore. I mean, look how close that is. If you want to see right here, the tire packs, right? Like, you have to remain 2, maybe 3 wide, but I even feel like then you're spinning out or at least hitting the barrier. I think that'll be a major deal come this weekend. The drivers will have reps on it, so I'm sure it won't be like anything like they're slamming into them every time like we saw one time at the Roval. But either way, it's definitely going to play an impact because like it's those top drivers like Tyler Reddick, who's going to be my pick. You need to be one of those top guys. I think this will be a big component of maintaining and gaining speed. It will be turn one because that has been so treacherous in the past. And you just can't drive it that way anymore. And I like that. I'm for that. I think that's cool.
Yeah. And Butcher said, like, you don't, like, it got crazy because everyone would go out wide and then they're joining the narrow track back. So, like, they're trying to avoid that. But then he said, well, what if this just bunches everyone up right there and causes a whole other problem? But they don't know until they practice, might not have practice. I mean, it'd be kind of crazy. Like, we got guys running, double or triple duty or whatever. So we'll have guys with track time no matter what. But not in this car if they don't practice in qualifying. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But regardless of what happens, I think like we all agree here, I'm sure. I'll go right now, but Tyler Reddick is the pick for 2311 this week. In 2025 and 2026 road courses, only SVG and Bell have a better average finish on road courses than Tyler Reddick. Only Bell and Reddick have won a road course besides SVG in that time. And while Watkins Glen might not be one of his like dominant ones, he's perfectly fine here. He's got top 10s in 3 out of the 4, Gen 7 races here. That's good for the 8th best average finish in those 4 Gen 7 Watkins Glen races. So it might not be one we think he's going to go out and win, but I think he'll be perfectly fine and definitely best of this 2311 bunch. Kyle, I'll kick it to you. What do you got here?
Ryan, I really want to be different here because to your point with Tyler Reddick, as good as he's been this year, as good as he can be on road courses, this is the place that's probably not up to snuff for his level, his standard. And Bubba is so dang tempting. But given the weather, given the potential with Bubba, obviously had his issues at Texas and is likely going to be qualifying one of the early cars and how important starting up front is. I just can't quite get there, so I'm going to join you guys on Tyler Reddick. But man, it was really, really tempting to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that side of it is like some chaos side of it. But I mean, if we're just talking about who we would pick on any road course, I think at any time, it would be hard for me to stay away from Reddick here. And like you said, I just pulled up the qualifying order here as well. It actually looks like if it goes by the metric, Bubba will actually be all right.
Yeah,
Reddick would be 3rd, but Bubba's
Wallace beat him last year. Had a much better driver rating, better true performance.
Interesting.
Beat him in 24. 23 Reddick got him. Bubba's been getting better. I don't know. Like I said, it's tempting. I'm not going to do it. I got my pivots later, but it was really, really tempting.
I like it though. Phil, where are you going to go? Are you doing it?
No. And honestly, I feel like I'm going with Tyler Reddick. I feel like this has potential, at least for me. When I wrote down my picks, I'm like, this race seems like it's more destined to have like a identical card between some of us than any draft we've had ever. And I, for one, am not getting bullied off any of my picks. I can tell you that for free.
Nice.
So, yeah, and I'll just say this just to get it out of the way. making these picks with most of the time with the fact that they will qualify in mind. But throwing all of this aside, all the bets, all the the draft picks here, wouldn't it be wild to see them like qualify on order there as you have it because of the metric, and watch these guys come from the back and race through the field and have guys up front that suck on road courses, and seeing the chaos that would unfold with this new style of track or different configuration? Like, that would be amazing. So I'm kind of rooting for that in a way, but obviously for my bets and for my card, I'm not. So getting that out of the way, Reddick's the pick, and I think we should have some more sweeps as we go through.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll have some sweeps here. There are some pretty obvious ones. I would say one thing about Reddick though. So again, let's say this isn't his, best road course, because it's not. But he did come out and he was just lights out at Coda. And then we just see what it is this year. Like this year, dude's just kind of on a different level. So I think if there was a time for him to come out to this track and be like, all right, I'll show you what I can really do here, maybe it'd be this year, but we'll see. All right, so we're not different there. Now we get to Front Row Motorsports, and they did last week exactly. Here, I'll pull it back up because we talked about it last week. Look at those scores across the board. Barf. So
no,
I
love
know,
it.
man.
That's the trenches. That's what makes this that's what makes it great. When the trenches matter like that, sick.
So I'm locked in. I'll let one of you guys, I don't know, do you want me to go since I'm locked in no matter what? Then if you guys want to decide to pivot,
I'm happy to lead off if you want.
All right, go. You go. What do you got?
Choo baby. Fire up the Zane train.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, top 5 in 2024, 17th in 2025. Gilliland is on the graphic, so maybe he's going to win and make me look real dumb, but I don't know. These guys are all going to finish somewhere between 19 and 27, and it just good luck getting the order right. So I'll take Zane Smith.
Yeah, I saw Rory Picks. He commented on what he said about the graphic, and then he tweeted right back at him and is like, "Dude, he made the bet, and he's like, if you top 10, you got to match it or whatever, or he'll match it. I forget what it was. And then if he doesn't top 10, he's got to give Rory pit passes." I was like, man, that's good. I hope.
Wait, Todd did that with Rory?
He didn't. I didn't see that he accepted it yet. This is what Rory posed to him online, and then I tried to, we're trying to retweet it and get him to do it. So hopefully Todd will do that for him. Be a lot of fun.
There was an interaction though from Todd at some point.
Yeah, Todd responded.
Yeah. Sick. I didn't see that. I saw Rory's initial post. I didn't see the back and forth.
Oh yeah, Todd commented right on it. So
amazing. Amazing.
He said, come on.
Yeah. So hopefully he does something with that. That'd be a lot of fun.
He's like, Todd's not gonna win. Todd's like, why? Me?
That's amazing, dude.
Now that you know this, I'll kick it to you. What do you got here?
I wish I knew that earlier in the day. I probably would have tried to make a case for him. But I have Zane written down, and I said I'm not going to budge. So the reason to switch would be Zane's stats from last season were dismal on the road courses, and Gilliland's wasn't as bad, I guess. But Zane at Watkins Glen is better. He's actually, I know he's got less experience there, but 6 in average finish, 11.0 is his average finish at Watkins Glen, which is pretty wild. And this year, I think we can all agree, Zane Smith's just performing really well. He's outperforming his equipment, no matter where we go. So I got to be Zane Smith here, even though that is tempting. I am really rooting for Gilliland to get a top 10 if he accepts that for Roy. That's awesome.
It'd be a lot of fun. I said I'm not changing either, and so I'm Zane Smith here. He had a top 5 here with Spire that we mentioned, and then his first year with Front Row started in the back and ended with a 17th place finish, and really that's kind of all I'm looking for with these guys here. And I trust Zane, to do that again. So give me Zane here. Tino, you're in the driver's seat now to pivot. Where are you going?
Well, in the driver's seat or the conductor of the Zane train as well. All my boys, we ride together. The only thing I can add to everything you guys said very beautifully is his stats. He's got a 5th place and a 17th place finish here. The 5th, a little skewed based off of when this race has been in the playoffs, but 17th, that does the trick in the trenches. Zane Smith for me.
Yeah, so I think we're just looking for a teens finish here from any of these guys. We're pumped. So let's go. All right, now we jump to HMS. At one point in time, we're the dominant team to beat here. Not so much recently, but then I think that kind of makes it fun for our purposes here. Maybe we'll be chalky here, but I think you can make an argument for 3 of these guys. So, I mean, I'll go first. I'm going William Byron. And, like, I feel like Chase Elliott has been a little lost here. He was the one that I was considering because he's getting all these great finishes on road courses all the time. But, even when he's running like 13th, 14th, like he finds a way by the end of the race to creep up to that top 5. But not really here. I mean, here they've just been kind of lost, like not a lot of speed at all, qualifying poorly, like just not coming up through the field, even if you are starting back. So I don't know. I went with William Byron here. I feel like he's just the one that's kind of come here with a legit setup more often than not recently. And we just know he's been great on road courses. So he's the only HMS driver here with a top 5 in the Gen 7 Watkins Glen races. So that says something. So give me William Byron. Tino, I'm going to kick it to you.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Because Brian said in the chat, Alex Bowman, which I do. Hold on. I do love the call out based off of his new swing of momentum. I'm happy to now talk about the 48 going in the right direction. Hey, I know just a couple races of a couple top 5s, but still, it's good to see for a guy that got injured this year. And I thought, like Brian said this, I was like, whoa, because I'm going to be honest here. As we walk through my pick, it might be a little long. I looked at all 3 drivers at HMS. Obviously, the 4th is Alex Bowman. I didn't even take a look at him. Brian says that. I was like, whoa, could that happen? Because I was also thinking maybe he's got a shot. Like Big Ross is saying, he's a sneaky road course guy. But then, unfortunately, or fortunately, to gain some knowledge, Iowa says Bowman is horrible here. And that's unfortunately the case because he does not have a top 10 at this track ever. So, Brian, I'm going to ask for you. If you do think Bowman, let me know why, because I do want to gain some perspective on that. I'm not trying to call out your pick by any means either. I do think Bowman's, have some momentum. Now here's where I'm going to say this is going to be interesting for HMS. Byron's definitely been the guy here recently, right? In the laps run in the top 5 at Watkins Glen in the next gen era, 138. The next 2 drivers in this camp, Chase Elliott with 81 and Larson with 79. So Byron's been consistently better at this track. But Byron hasn't been better than those 2 drivers at all this season. It's been Chase Elliott. And I'm going to go with Chase Elliott right now. I'm going to pick him here. I kind of feel like this season for him, he's been talking about it. First time with a couple wins. It's the earliest he's had multiple wins in the season. Can that dictate momentum? I think so. Can that dictate vibes? Certainly yes. But it's more than just vibes when you get to the 9 car on a road course. To me, I think Larson is also, in my opinion, a better play than Byron here. And now maybe me going against Byron, ignites something in him and he goes off. But it's just a spot where I needed to see where one of you guys went so I could choose between Elliott or Larson. I think both of them are better than Byron when it gets to here at this track specifically. They haven't had the finishing results lately as Byron has had at this track. But with how the season has been going, I just feel like the 9 car is sort of where he's been in the old Watkins Glen era.
Yeah, Byron hasn't been scary at all this year. So I, like a threat to
Right.
Like I never even expect him to be in the top 5. If he is, I like, whoa, what are they on a pit cycle? Or it's like doesn't make sense. So I hear you there. So that could definitely be the case. Chase Elliott was my guy if I wasn't going Byron, just to make that clear too. Phil, I'm going to jump to you. What do you got here?
Yeah, I'm going with Chase. I've got the Napa Racing hat on. Won me the draft, or won Brian the draft last week, pretty much. Elliott, understand the concern about the next gen car and his struggles here, I guess. But when I'm looking at his teammates, it's for this season, absolutely, I'm scared of Byron. 100%. Like, can't wrap my head around what's going on with that. And if you're looking at Watkins Glen specifically, and you want to make the case like, oh, Byron's better there. Well, yeah, but Chase Elliott also, in his career, he's got 9 starts, he's got 2 wins, 4 top 5s. Like, he's not clueless. Yeah, he's not clueless. He knows where victory lane is. And then in the last 7 road courses since the start of 2025, he's 4th in average finish, 9.6. He's absolutely sneaky. Like, he used to be the road course guy back in the day, remember? And now, like, he's got 5 of 7 top 10s. Like, I will absolutely take a top 10 from Chase. With Chase, you get a built-in insurance if it does rain. With him starting on the pole, that's huge for some stage points. So yeah, Chase Elliott is my pick here.
I had another stat on Chase Elliott that I talked about with Eric earlier today. And so in the 7 race sample, so again, this doesn't include Watkins Glen because they've just kind of missed it here all the time. But 2025 and then the 2026 road course this year, 7 race sample. He has 5 top 10s in those 7 races. Only SVG, Bell, and Reddick have more. So regardless of where he's running, he finds his way there by the end of it. So yeah, if there's any year where he's going to do it, probably this one. So that's kind of like what I was saying with Reddick. Like, man, these guys are just on fire right now. So maybe that momentum carries over. Kyle, where are you going here?
Ryan, I was going to join you on the Willie B train just because I figure he'll start 10 to 14th and he'll finish 10 to 14th and kind of just ride around all day. But seeing some of the messages coming in, my co-host came through, Big Ross came through, put Alex Bowman on the board, baby.
Whoa!
Oh, nice.
Wow.
He's gonna obviously Dega top 3, Texas top 3. He's gonna be solid. He's not gonna kill me. And he can do some things, and I think he's trending in the right direction. And as Brian said, Alex Bowman, let's go.
Nice.
Okay.
I love it. Our first surprise of the draft. We got HMS 3 drivers. We leave out Kyle Larson at Watkins Glen. Damn.
For good reason.
All right, let's get to JGR. Toyota team here. One where I think, there's probably 3 really strong picks here. Kyle, I'll let you lead this one off.
And go ahead and ring the bell. Chris Bell is the pick for me. He's had some weird stuff happen and just been a real case of unfortunate endings for him. But he's so good here. Yeah, I almost went Ty Gibbs, but I'm not going to pivot everywhere. So let's ring the bell. He'll be rock solid. He's one of the guys that if you tell me SVG doesn't win the race, I think can actually beat him. So I will lock in on the 20.
Yeah, pretty much every stat I've said on this show that includes the best road course guys, I mentioned Bell with that stat. So, Tino, what do you got here? We'll just go across the board this way.
I am also going with Christopher Bell. In my mind, earlier in the week, Ty Gibbs came first up, and Team 54 brings up a great point. C-Bell has horrible luck right now, and honestly, he is due to break free. If Texas wasn't the final straw, getting bumped by the Todd father and slamming into the wall, ruining, he could, to me, I mean, the way he was on a little bit faster pit cycle strategy there with the green flag runs, but still looked like he had a strong contending car for the win. And he has had a strong chance to win the last 5 races, and something has happened each and every one. And I keep saying to myself, he's going to be there. He's going to be there. This could be the perfect opportunity to surprise, if you will. Last thing on Gibbs was going to go him based off of his momentum this season, and how fast that car has been. But Christopher Bell's finishes might be one of the most consistent things I've seen at Watkins Glen and of all drivers. 2nd, 14th, 3rd, 8th, and 7th. Everyone else I look at in terms of HMS specifically, because those guys are all strong here as well. the finishes just aren't there. And sure, maybe playoff, like I said, has some implications with stage points and flipping in and whatnot. But ultimately, Bell being there, last thing I'll say about him is he's 8th in terms of laps run inside the top 5 here with 84. So good spot for him.
Yeah. Phil, what do you got?
Well, I'll throw Zach just a quick nugget for a second. I took Gibbs over Chastain because screw Ross Chastain right now. That was on.
We'll talk about that a little more later as well.
We can talk about that, but I do love Gibbs over Chastain. I'm also Christopher Bell. I mean, I took him top 5 plus 150. That is a bet that I really think is great because his top 5 numbers are insane. He's got 6 top 5 finishes in the last 7 road course races. That's the same as SVG. At Watkins Glen, 3rd in average finish, 6.8, 4th in drive rating, 5th in average running position. Like it's sneaky. Like maybe I'm just dumb. Like I don't think of him specifically when we talk about road courses until, you start writing the stats down. You're like, oh shit. Like Christopher Bell is like actually pretty legit. So plan on making money off of him this week and had to be on my team.
I agree with that.
Well, speaking of making money, I'll go with my guy here, Chase Briscoe, who I took for a top 10 at plus 110 this week. The first race with JGR, Watkins Glen, started 3rd, finished 5th. But he's been good here before that. SHR the year before starts 10th, finishes 6th. Very similar races back to back too. Just spent 70% of his laps inside the top 10, and he's finishing there. So we get Dakota this year, brings that good momentum too. Qualifies like 3rd, I think, and then drops back a couple spots, gets his groove going, and then might have been the best car on the track until it exploded. So again, like you talk about Christopher Bell, like someone who's due to break out of this slump and the bad luck. I think Briscoe and Bell are like the same right now. Like both have really fast cars and just bad shit happens to them. A lot of times it's out of their control. So the peak being the peak being Gilliland hitting Bell last week. Like what horrible split second luck that is. Like, oh my gosh, just crazy. But
the 19 and the 20 are like lockstep with their like slump right now. It's not even a slump, it's just bad luck. Like it's insane. They're both due for sure.
Yeah, it's got to break soon, man. So, all right, give me Chase Briscoe here, but love Bell as well. Let's go to Penske. Now, Penske, we have to let Phil lead this one off because I want to know if he's joined our side here. Road course, Ryan.
Wait, hold on.
No.
I think we got
No.
Don't play that video because it gets us kicked off.
I am someone who learns from my mistakes, boys. Okay. Right. This pick is Ryan Blaney all day, all night. And it's not even just because you embarrassed me by asking him the question that we talked about on the draft. Logano's got the Watkins Glen numbers. I'm sorry, Sean. But Blaney, this past year or so, the people who say like we can't look at Blaney's like track history, he's just like on a different level lately. Like I'm taking that to heart. And also last year going out, winning the pole, completely embarrassing me. I ate shit. I will not let that happen again. And he's like not bad, like 6th in driver rating in the last 7 road course races, 94.1, 5th in average running position, 11.9. He's coming off a really solid performance at Watkins Glen. Obviously started the right way, winning the pole, but finishes 6th, ran in the top 5 all day, 124 driver rating. Like the past year, road courses, Blaney has definitely improved on, and I want to be part of that. So Ryan Blaney, without a doubt. If you thought I was going to take Joey Logano and do that again to myself, my God, you're kidding.
He kept the momentum into this year too. I mean, we get Dakota qualifies 4th, finishes 8th. Like he's doing it. So yeah, my pick is easy here. Ryan Blaney wasn't even close for me. And the thing about the Glen too is like it's not like he's bad here. We're just trying to earn points. In the races he's finished 6th, 9th, 24th was the first year Gen 7. That was a weird one for some people. 14th, 5th, 12th, 8th. I mean, that's that's a good driver at Watkins Glen. You know, not like a road course guy winning these races, but like that's plenty of top tens that we just mentioned right there in the short time we've come here. Or he's come here. So give me Ryan Blaney here for Watkins Glen, and Kyle, I'm going to kick it to you.
Yeah, I mean, just keep the tradition going. It's definitely Blaney. He's clearly significantly improved on this track type. He also got knocked out of on the first lap in 2024, or he might have 3 straight top 10s coming into this race. He was he's really strong here. You know, and then just got that new contract. So he's locked into Penske for a while, get that little boost. He's one of my favorite targets in terms of you want to ladder him up top 3, top 5, top 10, top 4, whatever. Get yourself some Blaney exposure now, because if we get qualifying, he will be strong and those numbers will be gone.
Yeah, he's one that I was a little on the fence about, and I don't know why. I just don't want to take too many top 10 bets, even though the numbers were good. But he's still there, plus 110 for a top 10. That might be bet after the show. Him and McDowell are the two I'm looking at, and the two I have right now are Briscoe at 110, and I have another one that we'll talk about later. That line has severely swung, so we'll talk about that in a little bit.
That's the problem I'm having this week of top 10s is I don't want to bet like 12 drivers to top 10. And when you're figuring out, you know, some of the Trackhouse guys and whatnot, it's just like there's only so many spots. So you got to pick and choose your spots. But I think Blaney is definitely worthy of some attention with the numbers.
Yeah, especially with the, you know, we got a lot of unknowns with the weather, wet tires, stuff like that. I'm in for like 5 units somehow. Well, I had 2 units on SVG. So, I mean, like that's going to be how you start the week and how it ramps up quickly. But man, in for 5 units already. And it's like, might have rain and drama. So I don't know. We'll take it easy, I guess. Tino, what do you got here?
It is, we got in the chat, little Sean McBride asking if we're going to make it 4 for 4. And we will, because it's Ryan Blaney. It's Ryan Blaney so hard, I won't have to play the video again for Phil to give him a reminder. We were close. I was close. Hey, I was going to play it and then stop it midway because it would have been funny if I did it, but it's all right. My point is with Blaney, Kyle said it. I mean, this guy's coming off of a contract extension from Team Penske. Like, he is fired up about that. And that's one of those little like nuggets that fly out there. And you kind of wonder like, oh, does that impact the driver? Maybe, maybe not. But it will when he's in victory lane, right? You know, and I think it could happen here. We know how fast he was here last year, but look at Coda, right? People were surprised between the battle between, you know, Tyler Reddick and SVG, but who was the third driver up there? It was Ryan Blaney. Like, he not only, as Brian mentioned in the chat, not only has Ryan Blaney been fast on road courses lately, he's been fast enough to win these races. Not just fast, you need to be technical, you need to be surgical, you make the corners harder and more high intensity braking zones. Turn 1, can you get through there cleanly? I think this is a driver that's one of the best on road courses right now, and it's even more empowering to see, if you want to call it that, because he wasn't at a certain time. So it's, to me, like he's just getting better at his craft. I'll throw in the fact that I'll bet him, you know, to win outright, just because I believe I saw him at 20-1, top 5, top 10 if it's out there. Like, I do think Ryan Blaney goes out and has a really strong run here, and just the full circle of it all with Phil, you know, and his Logano play last year. I think it comes with Blaney potentially beating out SVG in this one too.
Perfect. All right, we'll go to
why he goes by YRB, right? Yeah, I think it stands for Young Road Blaney. Like, he's just a road course guy now, right? Is that true?
RFK, another Ford team here. Now, I think this might be a little chalky, so I'll just kind of lead it off. I just alluded to another top 10 bet that I have. It was Buescher at -110. I'm Chris Buescher here, and to me, it wasn't even close, you know, deciding between him and his teammates. There's only 2 drivers. Like, the last 2 times we've been here, 2 drivers have, you know, top 5s in both races. It's SVG and Chris Buescher. Buescher has beat SVG here, which is kind of nutty. And really, like, if you look at a bigger scope, only 8 drivers have run at least half their laps inside the top 10 in these Watkins Glen races, Buescher being one of them. But, like, not many guys, like, come here and are just consistently awesome every single year. Those 2 are. So when you're putting him in that conversation, not saying he's going to go beat people by 15, 20 seconds like SVG has done before. But, he's up there. And for a top 10 bet, I thought it was great. Thought about running the ladder on that one too. But now looking at DraftKings, that number is minus 190 for his top 10. So that has definitely changed up here. But you can probably find it much better elsewhere. Maybe. I don't know. Guys, I'll jump to Phil. You Busher here.
It's Busher. I'm on the same bet as you. I had the Briscoe bet plus 110. I had Busher at minus 110. Yeah, it's this is his best road course track. Like, he's good at the OG tracks, and then this one specifically. So you come here, and he's one of the few guys who've ever beaten SVG on a road course, right? Is that true? Was SVG in that race?
Yep.
Yeah, he moved SVG.
It's
It's like burned in my mind because it's one of the weeks I got in on SVG, and then he just bumped him out of the way after having a dominant race, and it was just like
it was a great ending. Like that ending, awesome.
Unless you had SVG.
It was an American ending. I was also on the wrong side of that one.
Yeah, so Chris Busher, for all those reasons, plus whatever Tino and Kyle have to say about it as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. Tino, I'll kick it to you. I'm just going to write Chris Busher across the board until one of you scream at me.
Yeah, no, please do. This could be an opportunity for him. And I think with that team, that's what they're looking for, to be able to capitalize on any chance they have to win at this point. The only thing that I'll add to, because everyone's probably thinking the same thing about Busher, is the fact that in the chat, Iowa had mentioned the other RFK driver, Brad Keselowski, having the Modelo scheme, which I do believe is awesome. Brian says Modelo sucks. Kyle, any response to your co-host here talking down about?
Yeah, I've never been so disappointed, and he's a Michigan fan, so like that tells you all you need to know.
I love that.
I have one tweet about that. Everyone's so scared to you can look at all my stuff today. Like people have liked it or retweeted it or whatever. I have one tweet about the Modelo scheme, and it just says "boner of the month," and everyone's afraid to hit that like because it'll show that they liked something that said boner. I guess I don't know. I don't understand it. Why is everyone so scared? Or it just says boner, so they buried it in the algorithm. I don't know either way, but
yeah,
there's my boner
still
tweet
icing down the servers. People will see it in like a couple weeks.
Nice. It might still be this month. That might still be winning boner of the month. We'll see. It's pretty awesome scheme.
New segment on the draft.
I could have
started that last week, right, Tino?
Yeah. I'm not
really
talking about any Chastain.
Yeah. We just changed the last part. Boner 1.25x. It's easy change. Easy edit.
Good sponsorship possibility, depending on who you can get. I'm sure there's a brand that would sponsor that.
All right, let's get this Zane train back on the tracks. It has derailed. It's running like Gregson right now. So, all right, we got to get Spire in here. Chevy team. I don't know. I think there's two ways you could go here. I went only one way, but Kyle, I'll lead it off with you. What do you got here for Spire?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could go three ways, to be honest. I don't know that I'm necessarily advocating for that, but if you guys said any of the names, I don't know that I'd be shocked. I'm gonna go with McDriver. He hasn't had the finishes that his days have probably deserved, and in terms of just road course prowess, he's the guy that I trust the most in this camp. And I think he's going to be rock solid. His top 10 number is really compelling, and he needs to convert that speed and that, kind of running position all day into the results that it deserves. And I think ultimately he does on Sunday and wins for Team Spire.
Beautiful. Michael doesn't fit in here, so we are Mike McDowell on this episode tonight. And I'm all about that Mike McDowell life here. The Sims do not agree with this that we ran, but I took him minus 120 over Ross Chastain because I am still on that fade Ross Chastain every week train, and it's been working well. And I just think, especially this week, like they have two other guys they really got to pay attention to. McDowell, 4 top 5s in his last 4 road races. He's behind only SVG and Bell in top 5s in the last 4 road races, and that's elite company. He brought real speed here to his top 5 at COTA earlier this season. And then if we look at Watkins Glen, a 6th, a 36th, a 7th, a 19th, the 36th, he might have been the best car that day, if you remember, and then that car blew up. So it's like he had an absolute rocket that day. In the 19th, I think like him and Hocevar were beefing all race or something. Like something weird happened there as well. But yeah, I don't know. I just think Mike McDowell, if you give me these two guys on a road course right now, a couple years ago even, Ross Chastain, right now, Michael McDowell for me. I just think Ross is trending. If you look at his finishes too, it's just trending in the wrong direction for Ross. So give me McDowell here. Phil, I'll kick it to you.
I wanted to go next, just saying. It's okay though.
Oh,
You want to go next? Go ahead.
No. The way it fell was you, but let's go. My bad.
Okay.
We'll see who you go.
Okay. I mean, I'm taking McDowell.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, look, I really do believe that you could go in a bunch of different ways. You can make if this was a debate club, I think I could take any of these guys. But McDowell for those reasons. But then also something else that stood out to me was like, Suarez would be my option too. Like he'd be my B pick. But when you look at McDowell, the way his season's unfolding, like these races are now what he needs, which is surprising. Like Suarez, he's been solid everywhere. So he doesn't have this like need this now mentality, whereas McDowell absolutely needs to do what he's done across the last 7 races on road courses. So I need to take like the more desperate guy in this scenario here, a guy who's proven, rather than a guy who's been solid on road courses. I'm talking about Suarez, and just kind of like crossing your fingers that it like continues. I want to go with more of the consistent deal here over the last, whether it's Watkins Glen or the last 7 road course races. It's McDowell for me.
Awesome. Pino, what did you want to say?
I will be choosing Daniel Suarez. Now I chimed in there I chimed in before Phil just to showcase that I wanted to pick Suarez in case he did, because if Phil did, I would then feel like I had to go McDowell because we have an identical draft board. Well, now I got my guy, and I'm going to say I think this wins me the draft this weekend, fellas. Okay. Here's why. In the last 4 Watkins Glen races, Suarez has beating McD in those last 4 3 times. 3 times he's beat McDowell. Okay, now one of the times I will say the McDowell car had an issue, but still, even then, there would have been 2v2. Okay, now I do understand what Phil's saying about the urgency of Michael McDowell and his chances are running out. I agree with that, but I'm going to go and look at it from another perspective. McDowell's 23rd in the standings, Suarez 14th, a very respectable 14th. I was talking to someone the other day here recently, my cousin, in fact, and he's a NASCAR fan, watched forever, but in terms of being an analyst, not really. I am. He's not. He calls me up and he says, Daniel Suarez, really exciting to see him do this well. And that's the train I'm on with Suarez, is the fact that I could look at the laps run inside the top 5 at Watkins Glen, see Michael McDowell P1 with 155 in the next gen era, but I'm going with momentum over the numbers right now. Suarez has been doing a great job this season. It almost makes you think all the stuff he's been saying about Trackhouse and their lack of speed was true, and now he's benefiting from this opportunity to showcase what he can do out there in a faster car. And that's what Spire has brought. And we'll see how it goes. But I'm very excited to now watch this matchup between these two drivers.
Awesome. You called it out. You said that you think this is what's going to win you the draft. So that's a good one to watch this week.
Mi amigo.
Tino, you're on a roll here. I'm going to let you just go right into the next Chevy team here, Trackhouse, and let's see what you got.
This one's going to be Connor Zilic. I do believe that it's an opportunity he's been waiting for, right? Road course, put things back on track for them, ultimately have a strong showing. He's got the reps here now too, which makes me feel better. I do not believe that he is going to win. I think maybe people could get a little overzealous with this Zilich pick this weekend. Certainly the odds are, in my opinion. I just feel like when you have Blaney, Bell, some of the other guys we talked about, like narrowing the gap to SVG, granted it may be a little bit, I just think they may get in the way depending on, where Zilich is at car-wise and handling everything like that. But he may not. He may be running right up there next to SVG for second place. But either way, that's why he's my first pick and not my second in terms to close it out here.
Cool. Phil, what do you got here?
Man, this is where I really struggled because I want everything in my body is telling me to take Chastain because of the stats. Like Zilich just has not proven it. And I'm sorry, but like so far he's shown absolutely nothing and nothing that even gives you hope. Like it's not even like he's like building any sort of momentum. It's just been really disappointing. But I'm so mad at Ross Chastain that I just have to go with Zilich. I don't want to put myself in a situation right now looking at, Tino and our draft board, and really have to rely on Chastain where he has just let me down immensely so far this year. So I'm going to go with Zilich. We'll keep it, pretty above board here and see what you guys go with. Is any of you guys feeling Chastain, Kyle or Ryan?
Are you feeling Chastain, guys?
No. One person on this is feeling Chastain, and it's the guy in the gold jacket for sure.
People don't
Kyle,
forget.
what do you got? What do you have here?
Go ahead and mark down SV Jesus for me here, Ryan.
Whoa. Oh,
I love it.
I mean,
now we're
if we're gonna get spicy,
don't-
let's get spicy, right?
Yeah.
Tino mentioned he thought he found the key skeleton key to winning this week's draft, and unfortunately, Tino, I got your skeleton key over here, and putting in SVG here will help unlock the draft and unlock AOP winning its second straight draft.
Oh, maybe. I love it.
Maybe, because not so fast, because that's what I had written down all day as well.
Oh my God.
So
Rip my steam,
fortune
brother.
favors the bold, my friends, and we are going to take SVG as our Trackhouse, as I think my bonus pick will help unlock it for me here and take you guys down. So with that being said, do we need to talk about SVG really? He's basically a cheat code on road courses. He's won 5 of the last 7, ran over 80% of his laps inside the top 5. Next best there is Christopher Bell, who's ran around 40% of his laps inside the top 5 in that same sample set. So SVG is the guy to beat on Sunday. There it is. So let's get to the bonus pick. And I had just mentioned him, and you guys have all picked him. I'll go first here. It's Christopher Bell in the bonus slot for me. Just a guy who's finishing up front more often than anyone else in these races. He's one of only 3 drivers to have top 10 finishes in 6 of the 7 road races from 2025 on. Only SVG and Buescher have a better average finish here at Watkins Glen in the Gen 7 races. Already have Buescher there. Took SVG. He's got he's got 5 top 3 finishes in the last 7 road races. So 5 top 3s in 7 races in the last 7 road races we've been at. That's insane. That is like SVG level. He's just winning more often. But when I'm trying to earn some extra points here, I think that I like Bell here over whatever points Zilich is going to get the guys for Trackhouse. So give me Christopher Bell here. And so who won last week? Phil did. So Phil, you're up next here. What do you got for your bonus pick?
Yeah, it's
well,
SVG.
never mind.
Mark it down. Yeah, SVG. Yeah, it's interesting though the way that you're setting up. I'll just comment on the draft board, since there's nothing to be said about SVG. It's interesting because you're basically taking Briscoe versus Zilich. Like that's the strategy that you have here, and I find that super interesting because I'm down on Zilich myself. I kind of thought that I got, my guys that I wanted, but maybe I should have taken a little bit more time to think maybe you guys would be doing something different. I'm anxious to see where Kyle goes because I had no idea where you were going to go, Ryan, and this was turning out to be quite interesting.
Yeah, and you get a little juice with Briscoe too because you get the 0.25 for Bell's points as well against you guys. So it's a little like juiced matchup, Briscoe versus
Zilich. SVG puts up 75 points and then it's just
it could easily be good night. But I just wanted to be different here. And if I am down on Zilich, then and listen, I hope Zilich I hope they have practice in qualifying. I hope he's fast. I hope him and Zilich qualify up front and battle it out all day. That'd be freaking so much fun to watch. But we just haven't seen it yet. So for this
is
purpose,
a crew chief call. It's a crew chief strategy play, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Tino. Actually, nope. Tino, you get to go last, I believe. So, Kyle, what do you got here?
All right. Babe Ruth time. Call him a shot. Go ahead and put
wait, hold on. I'm sorry.
No.
It's not like Tino's pivoting off of SVG anyways. Hold on. I don't mean to interrupt you, Kyle, but like, Tino, can we just write it down here? You're not going to go any. You're not picking Kyle fucking Busch.
I'm taking AJ Allmendinger.
He's picking Joey Logano for his guy Sean McBride.
Yes. No. Okay. So yes, SVG for me. I wanted to say I also tip my cap to you guys for finding a potential way to incorporate SVG while not having him in the bonus. That's something that I was thinking about doing, trying to plug in an HMS guy or not. Like that's where my head was at earlier. Didn't make it happen. Like couldn't even calculate. So I'm really cool to see you guys do that. And let's see what Kyle goes here.
Sorry, Kyle. Did not mean to interrupt you.
Okay. It's okay. I'm going to put Zilich in my bonus. I need practice and qualifying for sure. But this guy this is the reason he was brought to the Cup Series. It wasn't for his 1.5 mile prowess, which will get better. It wasn't for his short track prowess, which will get better. It's for his road course status. I've seen him. Me and Brian were at Sonoma when in obviously Xfinity, different cars, JRM, all that good stuff. But they were legitimate battles, and he was the victor. I think this will be. He was much better, as Brian points out, at COTA than I think kind of his results warrant. And I think this is a spot where he can show up, really showcase the talent that makes him, the star that NASCAR needs, and is going to join Carson Hocevar and Ty Gibbs in getting his first Cup Series win this week.
You know who was the fastest car at Mexico City last year? Kyle Larson, when he was fucking 38 laps down or whatever it was. So you know what? I don't care who was the fastest car if they can't finish, but I do hear you. Could be good. I hope that he is, man. I really do. Like you said, that's why he was brought here. So let's see it happen. Trackhouse can bring fast. They had Ross Chastain running up front at road courses. Of course, you can get Connor Zilich doing it. Like, if Ross Chastain can do it, Connor Zilich can do it at that track type. Like, it has to happen eventually. So, I don't know. Hopefully, it'll happen now.
We get an appetizer on Friday afternoon with both those guys in the truck race. So, that'll be fun to watch.
Dude, we got them triple duty Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I don't care about Xfinity or O'Reilly. So, they're both in that as well.
Oh yeah, dude, it's triple
Holy
duty.
Shit.
These two against each other head to head.
This book's gotta give us like a best of 3 series against each other, like head to head. That would be fun.
Yeah. They did. The only thing I saw now is SVG to win all 3 races was like 10-1 for a bonus. but if you plug in all 3 races alone, you get better odds than the 10-1. So yeah, I'd recommend doing that.
I will say you can. I know on Caesars they had it, stage 1 winner, stage 2 winner to win the race. And if you don't want to do like the plus 100 or whatever on SVG, there were some decent numbers, and obviously he could flip, but we've seen him flip and still win the stage, and then it will eventually win the race. So I think it was 2-1 and like 175 for those 2 bets. So if you want a little SVG and don't necessarily want to lay the plus 100, plus 120, that could be a fun way to play it.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I mean, guys, we thought this draft was real chalky. Then, bam, we get Bowman out of nowhere, Briscoe out of nowhere. And then we have the Trackhouse swaps, different bonus picks. We're looking good. This is going to be a fun weekend. It might take a little more than the Daniel Suarez pick, Tino. Or no, well, not if it's you against Phil, right? You guys are the same. Yeah, no, you guys are the same. So, yeah, if it comes down to you two, it's Daniel Suarez versus Mike McDowell. That's a good one. They should put that out there.
We're forgetting Cinco de Mayo too. So this is like a nice coming off of that, a little holiday there too. It's feeling strong.
Yeah.
Mi amigo.
Oh yeah. All right. We're looking good. Great draft, guys, as always. Everyone in the chat, really appreciate it. Let's have a shitload of comments. Tino, have you seen anything come through? Any questions? Guys, if you have anything right now you want to ask before we get off, let us know. I know we're a little over an hour, but we can take a minute or two to answer anything. You see anything out there, Tino?
One thing I wanted to bring up was SVG in a truck. Hunter as well threw that in there. In a Nice equipment. So, Phil, do you have any insight? You're the truck guy in terms of if SVG will blow you away or not, or maybe specifically that truck that he's in. Could we bank on him just sweeping the field? Although Connor Zilich is also in there. Like, who would you choose between those guys if you had to say?
Yeah, it's one of those deals where like you're looking through the stats and stuff, and you can kind of talk yourself into people other than SVG in the trucks because like you don't have anything to go off of. Zilich has some data to pull from, and it's good. So I saw that Zilich was actually the favorite on the first book that dropped lines. I think it was Caesars, which was disappointing. Or no, maybe I have them mixed up. Zilich was a favorite somewhere. Regardless, I tend to, fall into that trap of I need to see experience, and then like, sure enough, what will happen probably is like SVG just dog walks them. But I would probably lean Zilich in the trucks just because we've seen it. I'm a big like got to see it with your own two eyes rather than just like belief type of deal. So
yeah, I think SVG's only ran like IRP, right? Like a short track in trucks. I don't think
he hasn't done a road course in trucks. Not to say that he's not lights out. I mean, you could probably put him in a go-kart, but it's just Zilich. I feel like the trucks bring Zilich's skills even more to play, like in a head-to-head battle between those two, because we've seen it. He's performed really well, and there's going to be a learning experience for him for SVG, and he's got to do it very quickly. So it'll be fun to watch.
One thing that caught my eye was at St. Pete earlier this year in a niche truck, Landon Lewis, he had an average running position better than 5 that entire race. So
yeah,
I think if he can do it, I think SVG can do it. At least be up front. So
it's fair.
I'd keep that in mind. It's just so hard that they just make you flip a coin between these two in every series. Cup Series, I'm on SVG solidly there, but in these other series, man, it's tough. I think that I would probably lean the other way, almost like SVG in a truck, and then Connor Zilich in the O'Reilly series, but. You could also just play the odds because you could just take what's better. I don't think there is a better. So,
yeah, for the truck strategy, I mean, I haven't like hashed it all out yet, but like I'm so frustrated by choosing the guys at the top that like I might just say I'm not taking it outright, or I'm taking like super long shot guys.
Lane is like 14-1, and he just dusted everyone at the last at St. Pete.
I'm pulling it back up because I think I saw Ty Majeski was 40-1. Ty Majeski has the best average finish. I started writing these down. Out of all the guys that are in the field of the last 5 road course races in the truck series, best is 4.4 average finish. Like that is disrespectful line. So like I'm definitely taking him top 5 whenever that book drops top 5s. But
that was just him versus Lane at St. Pete. That's it. It was just those two were out front ahead of everyone.
Legit. So
he started 22nd that race too.
He does that a lot. He comes, through the field. So anyway, I'm getting off track. I think I'm so just like frustrated by having to choose, like you said, a coin flip. Maybe I'll just do that on YouTube. Just flip a coin, and that's what we go with.
I like the top 5 angle though too, and especially if so if Ty goes out and qualifies like shit again, you get a good top 5 there because those two guys are going to make the odds just so much better. The other one throwing the odds, making them so long too, is Cruz is in the race as well.
Love Brent Cruz this week. I love him. I'm really hoping I haven't seen top 5s drop yet, but I'm hoping
our friends offshore at Bovada have top 5 numbers.
Ooh.
Zilich, SVG, and Cruz are all minus money and probably not worth betting. But Majeski's plus 350. So
yeah, That's a good number.
Yeah, there you go. What's Riggs?
175.
I don't know. It's not bad.
Yeah,
All
to
right.
discuss.
Got some good truck talk in here, guys.
Last thing
You know.
before we do a little wrap up, since Kyle's the guest, Kyle, I want you to give us your best Kyle 3-peat parlay. What are you thinking? Who wins trucks, O'Reilly, and Cup race if you were to parlay it this weekend?
Interesting. So I obviously I made my shout. I made my call. Connor wins the Cup Series. Let's put SVG in Xfinity, and let's get spicy. Brent Cruz for the trucks.
There you go.
Okay.
That would be a hell of a parlay.
Yeah, I like it. Awesome. All right, sweet.
Good stuff. All right, good stuff, boys. Tino, why don't you let everyone know where they can hear you this weekend?
Sweet. So, SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 on Friday morning. I'll be on the morning drive there, give my best bets segment. Potentially going live for pre-race as well, so tune in there on Tubi TV as well for the best bets there. Updated odds, which are important here. Some potential plays, outrights, and whatnot. Some props, and covering all three series like we just talked about. And one last thing for me here, got a fortune cookie. Just opened it for the first time, as you can see. Let's see if there's a winning number on it. So. This is the message. Learn to manage your time efficiently to maximize productivity. Love that. And I'm doing so by reading a fortune cookie for the fellas in the chat. Numbers are 44, 38, 46, 32, 53, and 21.
Can you go slower?
Well,
Josh Berry's winning. That's what I heard.
Yeah, the only number that's like an actual number
Smith.
is Josh
Zane
Berry.
Smith, Chandler Smith, 38.
38. Okay. 44. What's Nice? 45.
No, Nice has a 44
44
truck. I don't know who's in it this week.
Okay.
We're gonna look.
Well,
God damn
I
it.
was hoping it'd be like 97 or
Yeah,
at
there
least
you
like a popular cup number, but it wasn't as cool as I thought it'd be.
In the 44 is Andres Perez Delaro.
That's right. Yeah. A nothing burger, but it's cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, follow
Maybe
me.
the
Thanks for tuning
sign
in.
is Nice.
Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. I was trying to pull out a sign. Fortune cookie let me down. Nice
Sign
work,
just
though.
might be Nice, which would be SVG.
Yeah.
Or Ross.
Friends, don't let friends bet Ross. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
There were a lot of fours in that cookie, and so he's driving the number 4. We could just take it,
Or all fours for legal help. That was like a commercial back in the day.
None of us took Gregson.
Yeah.
All right. Phil, when are you going to drop your show? Maybe tomorrow night, you're saying?
Yep. Got to let some of the books cook a little bit, and then I'll do some digging and throw some bets out there. But that'll be on YouTube tomorrow night around this time, and that'll be just talking trucks. And then the Full Tank with Phil's out now, breaking down all the Cup Series action. Both of those shows will be off next week. I don't do all-star race stuff for Full Tank. And then Trucks are at Dover, which is a close track to me, but I'll be in Florida on a golf trip. So unless I get hammered and just like film something, you won't see anything.
I'm rooting for that.
Film from the course.
Please do that.
Everyone in the chat's like, let's go.
I'm glad you brought that up because we won't be here next week. So I'll miss you guys. And then we'll pick it back up after the All-Star weekend. So glad you brought that up. Kyle? Oh, and I'll be listening. So as everyone knows, and Kyle, you listen to the show, so you probably know, I don't listen to anything until Thursday. So I'm going to be firing up all your guys' shows tomorrow morning. And I'm genuinely, like, when I wake up Thursday morning, it's the best. Like, I feel like I'm alive again. I listen to all the shows. I just want to drive around all day and listen to shit. But all right, Kyle, let everyone know where they can hear your show with Brian.
Yeah, so Brian and I record twice a week, Wednesday morning and then race day. Wednesday is our betting preview. And then race day is mostly DFS, and then we update the outright odds and go through that. We also do a Substack, which can be found at aoppodcast.substack.com. If you go to our YouTube page, you'll find links for everything. But we write up bets and DraftKings plays, and our full betting card and all that stuff's on there. So yeah, go over to the YouTube, click subscribe, and thank us later.
Awesome. Always love listening to you guys too. It'll be part of my day tomorrow. So I look forward to it. You guys, thank you very much for all your NASCAR data needs. Wintherace.info. Go check it out. Play the games with us. Play the draft against us. Try to beat us.
Tell them about that
Cash
deal,
prize.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Huh?
good deal.
Oh,
Tell them about the deal.
yeah. So
250?
we lowered the price too for the rest of the year, $250. So that's much cheaper than if you're paying $50 a month. And if you are on monthly and want to switch over to it, just let me know. Just shoot me an email, DM me, whatever, and we'll get you switched over so you can save some money. So $250 for the rest of the year gets you everything we're doing, which now has the DFS optimizer for DraftKings, FanDuel, the 200,000 simulations for all your betting needs. And if you want to look at those for DFS or whatever you got to do, they also fuel the DFS projections. I pulled up that new tool I made, the DraftKings, DFS, and then the betting side of it too. It's track related. So it tells you like different starting zones, how you could use that to help, build the DFS roster, or if you're looking for betting to know like where guys are starting and where they're finishing. So if you're looking for placement bets or winners or stuff like that, it's kind of cool to look through that stuff. So always looking to improve and always looking to build what you guys want. So if you guys think of something, let me know. We do our best to build it. I've surprised some people where they DM me and like an hour later, I show them a picture of it and I've built it. So just let me know and we'll do what we can. Appreciate you guys. Good luck at Watkins Glen. We will miss you a ton next week, and then we'll be back after the All-Star break. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night.